Folks, Rob here, and if you watched the video the other day, I mounted the Bestsight 1x5 onto the Winchester Wildcat, and it's sitting right here in front of us. And I said then that the scope rings they send with all these are way too high. So I went on Amazon and I picked up some rings, and I picked up 3 different sets. I got one set of these. These are 1-inch center height. These are 30 millimeter. And these are made by Aurora. Now they come in this plastic box, but it was busted in shipping because it came in an envelope. But inside you have your 30 millimeter rings, and I do have a Aurora scope, which is one of my better scopes. And at some point we may put these with the Aurora. But my main purpose was to. Man, them are some rings right there. Them things are a chunk. Those are definitely some heavy-duty rings. Machining looks really good on them. They come with your Allen wrench, and that's pretty much the Aurora. So we're gonna stick them back in their box here. Take them out of the plastic. They don't need to be in the plastic. We're going to put them back in the box. And then I ordered a couple sets of these monstrum. Now, one of these is 0.85 of an inch. Of course, it doesn't say on the package which is which. These come with Allen wrenches and looks like some extra screws. We're probably going to use a set of these on the Wildcat. I don't know which height I need. Now, these are lighter weight. Definitely a lighter weight ring. These are probably the 85s. Let's open our other package and see what we got here. Now, I did buy all these. Monstrum had a good price on these right now. So I did pick these up off Amazon. Although I don't like buying from Amazon because they blocked me from leaving reviews. So these are, yes, we got our 1-inch. And our 85s, so you can see the difference there. So these are 0.85 center, these are 1-inch, and the Auroras are 1-inch. So we should be able to mount our Bestsight down where we want it to be. So good looking rings. So I just thought I'd bring you along, let you look at the rings, and we're going to be putting a set of these on this Winchester Wildcat. And seeing which of these work best. Right now I have the tall ones on it, which you know, I don't really. They're too tall. All these scopes that come with these big old tall rings that have no use to me. I mean, they're just way too big. And in my opinion, too big to be usable. Let's see, is that the wrench? No, that's too big. That's too small. I have all kinds of Allen wrenches laying right here, but I guarantee you I won't have the one I need. That's alright, I have my Allen wrench for my screwdriver right here. Them are probably, I'm going to say metric, because most of those are. Let's see, about a H, I'm going to say about a H4. No, way smaller. Let's go with a H3. Yes, would appear those are a H3. So I'm assuming that's 3 millimeters if you look at the Cobalt tool set. So we are going to remove these big old tall rings. Now, if I ever get a 56 millimeter objective, you know, scope, I could see that coming in handy, needing to get that up off the gun high enough to clear the barrel. But as far as these low power variable scopes that have a straight tube, or at the very least a really small ocular, or not ocular, but hell, I forgot what it's called. Anyway, this far end, you don't need these big tall rings. And if anything, they cause you to raise your cheek up too high off of the gun to get a good picture, in my opinion. Good sight picture. I'm going to pause you a minute, take the rest of this off, and then we'll come back. Alright, we have our rings off of that, and I want to really establish where the best place to mount this is going to be on this. I want to move this back a little bit. I have the, it's got the bubble level on it. Of course, if I loosen it up, it's not going to be level anymore, but it's kind of really something I'm not going to need. It's just extra weight. I think I'll just take it off and not use it on this particular scope. You know, it's something I don't really see a need for on a lightweight type hunting rifle. This is not a precision rifle that I'm going to be shooting long range, so I think we'll just get rid of that. Now I want to see which of my, and these take the Torx type screws. I don't know if you can see that or not. Probably not. But I do like the emblem on top. I do like these monstrum rings. Monstrum, if you watch this, you know, if you want to sponsor me, I would like to try some more of your rings. And they seem to be quality made. So if you want to sponsor me, Monstrum, feel free. My email will be in the description below. That's a shameless plug, wasn't it? Trying to get some free scope rings. Anyway, let's see if we can find a star bit. Well, it's got the wrench in it. Let's just use the one that come in it. Although it would be quicker to take it off with one of mine, probably. And that's probably a T15 if I'm guessing. And I would have been guessing right. So these are the 85s. I'm going to try the lowest first and see, because I want it down as low as I can get it without interfering. I really don't want to take my little peep sight off the back of this, but I do want it down as low as I can get it. So we're just going to take the caps off these, and I'll pause you to do that. They ain't no. And then we're going to set the bases on there and just, you know, see how the scope looks. And one thing I like about these rings, they have a two-piece, two-spot Picatinny rail there section, so they're not going to move. And so we're going to set one here. I'm going to guess I'm going to have to come back. We're just going to set it there, and I'm going to loosely try it. We're not going to tighten these down because I want to see where the scope needs to be. I want it back as far as I can for good eye relief, and we're just going to play with it. Oh, and by the way, if I hadn't mentioned it, I am using the pridefend rifle rest. I use this more as a gunsmithing bench or rest. This is great for working on guns, putting scopes. You got your little compartments here. You got a tray up here. I mean, you can put stuff here. This pridefend rest has been more useful to me as a gunsmithing tool than it has a rifle rest. It's a nice rifle rest. It does work for a rifle rest, but I tend to use it more as a gunsmithing platform because it is stable, and it's very nice, and it's got compartments all over it. So anyway, thought I'd mention that while we're doing this. Okay, so we have our scope rings mounted there. So I want this to go back as, see, we're hitting our peep sight, which is what I was kind of afraid of. Now I have two options. I could take the peep sight off. I could possibly move it forward, which is maybe what I'll do. because it's just hitting the if I move it forward, I think it'll clear right here. So that way I won't have to take it off. It won't interfere with my throw lever. So let me loosen that peep sight and we'll move it forward, and I think it won't be a problem. Alright, I moved the peep sight up, and I think that will allow us to sit right there. Are we touching? I may have to take the peep sight all the way up. Okay, let's see what we can do there. I may have to go with the higher rings because I do not want to remove my peep sight because I'll end up losing it. So let's put it right there. That's as tight as we'll push forward on our rings. They're not tight yet. So there's our peep sight moved forward. And now we're still hitting the scope. So we got two options. Take the peep sight off or use the higher ring. I want to just look through it, see what the cheek weld's like with it so low down there. I actually like it low like that. So I'm going to take the peep sight off. I'll put it in my parts box. Maybe I won't lose it. And that way we won't have any problem mounting these as low as possible. Just slides off a little dovetail. It's a simple little unit to operate. So we'll put this up so we don't lose it. And I knocked a ring off there. I'll put that with the bubble level thing there, and that way I won't lose it. So here is our other ring. There we go. Now let's see what we get there. I want it all the way back. I think that's where it's going to have to live, right there. So I'm just going to give these a little bit of a tighten, because I just want to test fit everything right now. I want to make sure everything's lined up and where I want it, and not rush the process here. So we're just giving that a snug, and I think I'll put one screw in each of these, just in the center, just enough to give it a little, so the scope don't fall off. I'm not going to tighten them. Just going to get them down to where they touch, because I do want to and then we're going to level the scope, so we don't want it tight at all right now. So we can still rotate the scope. That's good. I'll put one here in the front, and one screw in the center. We're not even going to really tighten these at all, because I just want them to support it, not to let the scope torque. So we're not going to tighten these. I want some movement in there. All right. Now I'm going to take it off here, and we're going to look through it. Make sure the eye relief's good where it needs to be, and then if it is, we'll go about leveling this. All right, so one of the reasons I didn't want to tighten this too much is because now we're gonna level our rifle. So I got the eye relief. I wish I could have come back maybe a quarter more of an inch on the scope, but that's as far back as it's going to allow it to come back. So I do have to scooch up on it just a hair, but it's not bad. Like I said, probably a quarter inch. If I could have come back one more pick rail slot, I believe that would have been perfect. But didn't have it to come back, so we're going to take this off. We're going to take our pridefend scope leveling kit, and we're going to put it on our rifle here. And I'm going to get my rifle level. And right there, the rifle is level. And when I get it all done, I'll see if I can get you a shot. So there, the rifle's level. So now we're going to take our barrel clamp, and we're going to make sure that it is level, that they both agree with each other. That way I can level the scope across with the barrel level. So if you've never used one of these, this is a really inexpensive little kit. I think it's under 20 bucks, and it really allows you to get a little bit of precision to your scope. If you've ever had problem leveling a scope, this will definitely help the process. And I'll put it up here, and then I'll give you a shot of how it should look. Alright, your goal here is to get the one across your receiver square, or level I should say, and then come down here to your barrel clamp and get it level as well, as close as you can. Might be off just a fraction of a hair there. So, but anyway, it takes a little fiddling to get it precise, but you can do it from this. So I fiddled with it just a little more and got it perfectly level across the two. Now you can take your one off the back, remount your scope where you want it. In our case, right here. Furthest back it could go, push forward on it. There is no real recoil on a 22, but it's a good idea to always just push your rings forward. What did I do with my screwdriver? Oops, I hit the cab. So now we're just going to tighten these down. And I'm going to go ahead and torque these, because I have found in the past before, if you torque your rings after you torque your, or if you torque your base after you torque your rings, sometimes I have got them to where I put enough, I don't know if it puts torque on them or what, if it twists the rings or what, if it becomes uneven, but I like to torque down my bases. Once I get it set where I want it and everything's good, the rifle's leveled, everything's ready to go, all I have to do is level the scope. I'm going to go ahead and torque down my bases there. This, I'm just going to be using my Sandlang digital torque, or not digital, but, you know, screw type. And it's real quick and simple to use. I've got it set on 20 inch-pounds. And we're going to start creeping up on that kind of slow. I want to go front to front. We want to keep them all kind of relatively tight. This is mounting onto polymer, so I don't want to overdo the torque on these screws. I mean, these are aluminum, so aluminum's going to be harder than the polymer, so I don't want to overdo it and get too much torque on them. So I figured 20 inch-pounds. There's no real guidance in the paperwork or anything. It says 20, but that just seems like a reasonable amount on a 22. So we're going to go with 20. And our bases are now on. Now we've just set our bubble level on top of our turret hip here, and we're going to make sure that the scope is level with the rifle itself. Let me do that and we'll come back. Okay, there you can see that the top of our scope is level and our barrel is level. From this angle it doesn't look so level, but it is level. So phone ain't wanting to focus. So now it's just a matter of getting all my screws into the scope and torquing it down to where it doesn't move. And we just want to go slowly and tight and evenly all the way around it. We're just going to get them all started first, and I'll get that done. I'll come back. Alright, so I've got it leveled. I've got my gap the same on both sides. I use the 2 center screws front and back to put enough pressure on it to get my gap the same. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go all around it, and we're going to tighten it down. I'm going to tighten it to 15 inch-pounds, but I want to do it incrementally. So on our first pass, we're going to go to 5 foot-pounds. And the way I'm going to do it is I'm going to come to the back, and we're going to do it slowly. We're not going to get overly zealous on this. The 2 middle ones may already be slightly more than 5 foot-pounds, because I did put just a little bit of pressure on them, and I should have been going back and forth from front to back. But we're going to put 5 foot-pounds on all of them. That way they're all nice and even. And we're going to creep up on it. So we're going to go back and double check. That we're all at 5. And okay, we're 5 pounds. So now we're going to go up to 10. So I'm just going to take my little wrench up to 0, which puts it up to 10 there. And we're going to start, again, we're going to start we're going to go and then we're going to do our front ring. Alright, we've got our 10 pounds on all of them. Now we're going to go to 15. So we're going to crank our wrench up to 5, and that should bring us up to about 15. I found this little window down here to be far more accurate than this little window. If you always reset it at 0, if you go from 0 to 0, that's 10, and then 0 from 0 to 5, that's 15. So I always reset my, which you should anyway, always reset them to 0. It makes them last longer. And you notice I'm not going all the way to the 15. I'm tightening them a little bit. And then we'll finish them up. All right. We're getting close to that 15-pound mark, and then I'm just kind of backing off. I can feel my wrench getting ready. Pretty close to clicking, so we'll go back. We'll work across. So that should have us. So we got 15 foot-pounds on our rings and 20 pounds on our bases. And we're level, and she's ready to go. All we got to do now is take her out and shoot her. So anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed this video. I did end up using the 85, so we'll save the wrench. I probably could have used these and kept my rear sight on, but you know, I like it low, and it gives you good cheek weld, and looks better, and it's more sleek. And yeah, so we'll use our 1-inch monstrums on another project, and then we got our 1-inch Auroras. Next video we'll bore sight this and do some adjusting on the scope, see how she shoots. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it. Until the next one, we'll see you later.